My name's Edward Hutt and I'm from Porthurst in Kent, where we're filming today. And I work in the pharmaceutical industry. One of the great things since I went independent is I've had a bit more flexibility to deal with the bees, you know, and so that was one of the things that allowed me to start doing something that I'd always said I would do, but never got around to it. So I was always aware of honeybees being under threat and thought, well, it'd be nice to have my own, and I have got a garden here and thought, well, yeah, it'd be good to help with the pollination. And I started last year with a local beekeeping association and started the lessons every fortnight, and I ordered my Flow Hives and then got hold of a couple of nuclei towards the end of the season and, you know, got them into the hives and fed them up for the winter, and yeah, that's how I really got started. So today we're in the middle of August. I'd already taken 35 pounds of honey off my bigger 10-frame Langstroth, but the 8-frame was the one that I've got 5 of the flow frames in the super, and I had seen that they were getting sort of reasonably mature when we first started talking about possibly sort of filming the process. And so what we did today was we went back to that hive, had a look to see out of the 5 that I've got there, and I've got a spacer for the 6th space, which were suitable. And in fact, we had a couple that were looking good. So we harvested the honey from 2 of those. This year's been very good for the bees, and it's been very good for the garden and certainly for the fruit. The apples that were a bit sparse last year, and this year I got a lot more apples, and the plums have been amazing. It's all been a very good year for the garden, and I'm sure the bees have had a part to play in it. They've certainly been very, very active. I think since I started keeping bees, I'm more aware about the flowers in the garden and, you know, certainly the planting, particularly for the start and the end of the season. And I think also it makes you aware of the weather a lot more. I've always been interested in the natural world, so it just added to that. I've got an older brother who used to keep bees where I was originally brought up in Suffolk, and he had a couple and he had a fairly low-tech approach to it, but I used to really like watching the bees going in and out, and I thought, well, yeah, it's something I'd like to do. It was always there in the background, but it was, I think for me, it was sort of partly the question of the organisation around it and how do I do it all, but also partly finding the time to do the lessons, because clearly you have to know what you're doing. And with the Flow Hives, it helps to make the collection easier, but it doesn't remove the requirement to actually understand the bees. I mean, the brood is exactly the same as any other system, so yeah, absolutely, you've got to know what you're doing. When I started working for myself, it certainly allowed me to do a number of things that I had vaguely meant to do throughout my adult life and never got round to it. You know, part of the work-life balance that one always wants. Yeah, I certainly feel it's one dimension of a much richer life.